So we are about to head out on our road trip to Chepstow, Homechoir's first trip away from home. It's going to be a great journey. Let's get going. Now, it's not exactly a million miles away. Chepstow's just a short hop from Bristol, sits on the border between England and Wales and overlooks the estuaries of the Wye and Severn rivers. The town has a population of around 14,000 and is bursting with history. So we have left England and we are now in the depths of Wales, approaching the beautiful town of Chepstow. We've got sun in the sky, a few clouds, perfect day for a choir rehearsal. Looking forward to it. There have been people living around this area for 7,000 years at least, dating back to the Mesolithic period. There are Iron Age fortifications, Roman artefacts, and of course, Chepstow Castle, which is the oldest surviving stone fortification in Britain, dating back to 1067. And despite its great age, this amazing castle is beautifully preserved, and we'll see and hear more about it later on. But for now, let's take a little step along the river where we can see the oldest 5-arch bridge in the country. And a bit of fun, you can stand in the middle of the bridge with your foot in Wales and the other foot in England. Unfortunately, the locals don't seem to have much patience with people trying to film segments. So here we are, standing on the dividing line between two countries, England behind me, Wales in front of me, a car about to go past me. So here we are on the dividing line between two great nations. Behind me is England, ahead of me is Wales. We've got some fantastic singing to do today. Let's get on with it. That's a bit better, Ben. Shame about the hair. Anyway, once you finish recording your pieces to camera, there are so many fantastic things to see and do in Chepstow. Some wonderful medieval architecture, some gentle, quiet little streets that you can explore, but of course, the heart of the town is its wonderful people with their warm welcome. I've been lucky enough to sing and perform in Chepstow many, many times over the years, and it's one of my favourite places to put on a concert. And then there is, of course, that castle. Building started in 1067 by Earl William Fitz-Osborne, who was a close friend of old Billy the Conqueror, making it one of the first Norman strongholds in Wales. And in turn, others like the Earl of Pembroke, the Earl of Norfolk and the Earl of Worcester all made their mark before the castle sadly declined after the Civil War. Now, we were lucky enough to speak to someone who lives very close to the castle, friend of Homechoir, local farmer, and of course the owner of Gwarchod the Messiah, that beautiful little horse who was born during Messiah at home. He told us a little bit more about this fantastic ancient monument.
They filmed Ivanhoe here, the first black and white film to be made outside of New York. And all the extras had to come down the castle dell here, and they had to die on the lawn there. See that where that tree is? They all died there because they were fired on by bows and arrows from the castle. Some of them, when they thought they'd been dead long enough, on the video you can see them getting up and they're waving at their friends saying, hello. So they didn't die at all.
Now, if you can make it into the castle without being killed, there's so much to explore. This incredible great tower, for example, and the view out over the river is just absolutely stunning. The castle's managed by Cadw, who of course, along with the English heritage and Scottish heritage, maintain an awful lot of the great historical artefacts of this country. And if you dig a little deeper into the castle, you'll find something very special indeed. This is the original door, so...
Chepstow Castle Doors, do you want me to commentate on it?
Please do.
Tan 1962, roedd y drysau hyn yn hongian ym mhrif borth y castell. Pan wnaed copi ohonynt a gosodwyd y drysau presennol yn ei lle. Cawsant eu profi'n ddiweddar I ganfod pa mor hen ydynt drwy ddefnyddio dendrochronoleg, dyddiad blwyddgylch coeden, a darganfwywyd iddynt gael ei gwneud heb fod yn hwyrach, not later than 1190.
Now you'll see and hear plenty of Welsh all throughout Chepstow. Despite its very close proximity to the English border, the Welsh are justifiably proud of their beautiful language. In fact, they call it the language of heaven. We'll be singing a little bit of it in a minute, but let's turn to Glyn to hear a bit more about this beautiful language. What you've seen in your lifetime is a resurgence in the Welsh language. It's now taught in schools. I mean, what's the feeling amongst the Welsh about their
Well, my father was a county councillor in Denbigh, and he was very keen on promoting Welsh in schools and actually helped to establish Ysgol Twmornant in Denbigh, which is the first primary school in North Wales. Things developed from there really, because some parents preferred then to send their children to a Welsh-speaking Welsh school, which is through and through, which would be natural for me at my age of 9. And I learnt English through the language of play.
Now, I think it's time we did some singing. We've been joined at the bandstand in Chepstow by members of Homechoir from all around the country, along with a local male voice choir. And we're going to start with, of course, the Welsh National Anthem. Stirring stuff. Well done, everyone, particularly if it's your first time singing in Welsh. Now, one of the things we're going to do whenever we go away for a home choir road trip is pick up a new song or two. And this trip is no exception. We're going to be learning Men of Harlech, an ancient song, so ancient there are no official lyrics, but it was of course featured in films such as How Green Was My Valley and Zulu. So here we go, everyone. Here's Men of Harlech. 3, 4.
Men of Harlech march to glory, victory is hovering o'er ye. Right and freedom stands before ye, heed not a call. At your slow she seems to wander, rend the sluggish bonds asunder. Let the war cries deafening thunder, every foe appalled. Echoes loudly waking, hill and valley shaking, till the sound spreads wide around, the Saxons' time is breaking. Foes on every side assailing, forward press with heart unfailing, till in vain has learned with quailing, Chepstow neck and yield.
Beautifully sung. Now, I said there was no official version of this song, and I remember singing a particularly silly version of this back when I was at primary school. It was called The Hymn of the Ancient Briton, and it was all about painting yourself a funny colour. Everyone, let's sing the sillier version.
Here's introduction. 2, 3, 4. What's the good of wearing braces, vests and pants and boots with laces, spats or hats you buy in places down in Brompton Road? What's the use of shirts of cotton, studs that always get forgotten? These affairs are simply rotten, better far is gone. Woe's the stuff to show men, woe's to scare of foemen, boil it to a brilliant blue, and rub it on your back and your abdomen. Ancient Britain
Chepstow's an amazingly musical town with so many choirs and musical groups, and of course, an annual festival at the castle.
Over 3 weekends in August.
Jason Donovan, mid-year. Welsh legends, look at that.
Choirs have been an important part of my musical life here in Chepstow. For 3 weekends in August, as you'll see behind me here, there is the biggest musical festival probably anywhere in Wales.
And to finish our singing for today, we're going to hand over to the local male voice choir, the Mathern Men's Choir, to sing us out.
This is the Mathern Men's Choir, and now we're going to sing for you Calon Lân. Nid gofyn fy moethus, a'r fi na'i belai man. Gofyn rwy'n am calon hapus, calon honest, calon lan. Calon lan am llawn daioni, teg a fyw la lili dlos. Dim ond calon lan a gani, ganu'r dydd a chanu'r nos.
What a beautiful hymn. Let's sing it all together, shall we?
Nid yw'n gofyn fy moethus, a'r fi na'i belai man. Gofyn rwy'n am calon hapus, calon honest, calon lan. Calon lan am llawn daioni, teg a fyw la lili dlos. Dim ond calon lan a gani, ganu'r dydd a chanu'r nos.
Well, with that wonderful singing ringing in our ears as we zip back across the Severn Bridge, we're so grateful to everyone who helped make Homechoir's first road trip so memorable. Huge thanks to my amazing family who did all of the filming and recording for this, and of course to everyone who came all that way to the bandstand, to all the home choristers and their family members who sang with us, to the Mathern Male Voice Choir who sang so beautifully at the end, and huge thanks to Glyn and Jan who showed us around the castle and more besides. You are fantastic hosts. To the people of Chepstow, we salute you, and to all of you, thank you so much for being here. We do hope you've enjoyed our special trip, and hwyl fawr to all of you. If you fancy us coming to see you where you are, well, drop us a line, but in the meantime, take care and we'll see you soon.